Here now with reaction to today's news, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, one of the brightest, best debaters, according to Alan Dershowitz at Harvard Law. You're watching this case. Your observations, am I right about a dual justice system? Is this equal justice under the law or equal application of our laws?
Sean, you're absolutely right. As you know, the last book I wrote is entitled Justice Corrupted, How the Left Has Weaponized the Legal System. And sadly, we're seeing it come to life in Technicolor. The book Justice Corrupted talks about how the Obama Justice Department and the FBI and the IRS were turned into political weapons to target their enemies. You just talked about Lois Lerner. That was part of that. It then talks about how those vicious partisans burrowed into senior career positions in the agencies, and the deep state waged war against Donald Trump. During the 4 years Trump was president, the deep state tried to do everything they could to destroy his presidency. Now those partisans are back in the open. They are brazen. They are running the Biden Justice Department, the FBI, the IRS. And Sean, it gives me no pleasure to say it. This Attorney General, Merrick Garland, is the most partisan. He is the most political Attorney General in our nation's history. And he has corrupted the Department of Justice. He has corrupted the FBI. He has corrupted the machinery of government. And they're perfectly willing to use it. It is effectively an arm of the DNC. The hypocrisy is massive. And mark my words, I believe Merrick Garland will indict Donald Trump. He wants to indict Donald Trump because he hates Donald Trump. He hates him. He's angry. Merrick Garland is angry that he wasn't confirmed to the Supreme Court. He wants to indict him. I think the plan was to indict him over classified documents. And then he got the enormous problem that Joe Biden seemed to have classified documents everywhere, including in the garage by his old Corvette. I don't think Merrick Garland will indict Trump over classified documents. Here's my prediction. He'll indict Trump over, quote, obstruction of justice for hiding the classified documents. Now, mind you, he's not saying the underlying classified documents were a crime because he'd have to indict Joe Biden, too. He's going to instead create a crime about a non-crime. That's going to be the basis of the indictment. And I think you're right. He will also indict Hunter Biden, but he'll do it on purely personal matters, dealing with drugs and guns and tax issues for Hunter that have nothing to do with Joe Biden, because this DOJ wants to protect and insulate Joe Biden and the Biden family's corruption, and they want to use Hunter Biden as a scapegoat to justify targeting Donald Trump.
I want you to focus like a laser on this issue that you're talking about, a non-crime, but issues surrounding a non-crime, that they turn criminal, and that being what you believe, and I think I agree with you completely, that this will have nothing to do with the documents or the raid at Mar-a-Lago. Otherwise, how would you justify Hillary Clinton? James Comey acknowledged she had top secret classified material on her servers. No reasonable prosecutor would prosecute. How do you justify Joe Biden, not one, not two, not three, I think it was 4 locations where he had classified materials? So if the special counsel made it about those issues, then America would look, well, why didn't you do it to these people? And there is no good answer for them. And what about the idea that, OK, well, now that we're going to go after Donald Trump this week for obstructing an investigation into what they're saying is a non-crime or not one that they're going to prosecute, OK, we'll throw you a bone and we'll arrest Hunter on lying about his gun application charges. That's fair?
Yeah. Now, of course it's not fair. And this is something I've talked about at great length on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz, where I've talked about, here's the tell. The investigation into Hunter Biden, if it stays focused on his personal issues, if it stays focused on drug use or gun issues or things dealing with, look, Hunter Biden is a deeply troubled soul. And the media, the corporate media is prepared to say, yeah, you know, every family has people who are struggling with addiction. He's someone, he needs help. But the tell is, does the investigation cordon off Joe Biden? The reason we care, listen, if Hunter Biden were just some poor schmo who had real problems with substance abuse, it wouldn't be a matter of public concern. You and I wouldn't be talking about it. The reason it matters is Hunter Biden, the evidence suggests, made a business of selling access to daddy, to Joe Biden, selling it to enemies of America, selling it to Burisma, the Ukrainian natural gas company, selling it to the Chinese communists. And you're going to have shortly James Comer and Jim Jordan on the show. Look, the House of Representatives is getting ready to hold Chris Wray in contempt. Why? Because the FBI had a whistleblower come forward and allege that Joe Biden was personally involved in a $5 million bribery scheme. We don't know the details. Comer does, but I don't. We don't know the details, but my understanding from the public leaks is it did not concern China. And the FBI, as far as we know, sat on it, didn't do anything about it, didn't investigate it. And so today, the FBI brought the document over to show it to Comer, but said it must remain confidential. And apparently, Chairman Comer decided this is serious enough. The American people need to see. And so I have a message for Chris Wray. I've known Chris Wray 25 years. Chris is not a left-wing partisan. He's a company man. He believes that he's protecting the FBI by circling the wagons. Let me tell you something, Chris. The FBI works for the American people. The American people have a right to have accountability to know, is there evidence that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., the President of the United States, was personally involved in bribery from a foreign nation? Don't protect the career partisans in DOJ. Instead, put the public good above parochial concerns. The American people deserve to know what is the evidence that Joe Biden was personally involved with bribery.
All right, Senator, very powerful. Senator Cruz, thank you.